Hello Skillr fans. Today we will analyse one of the rising styles in boxing. A style labelled as bulletproof because of this unbreakable defence and the lack of holes in his game. So let's dive into the breakdown and understand why this may just be the most solid defence in boxing. In this breakdown, we will learn exactly what makes his defence so good, and some of his most underappreciated tactics that make him such a solid boxer. We will analyse his style in detail so you can understand it and implement some of his skills to your own game. Before we continue, we want your collaboration. During the past months, we have been working on our own boxing sportswear collection, the Skillr V1-Edition. To really adapt the products to the boxer's needs, we have prepared a survey and would like you guys to take part in it. If you answer the survey, you will get a preview on the products and a 12% discount on the release. You will find the survey in the description. Boxing stance. As we know, a boxer's stance is the foundation of their style, and Shakur has a boxing stance perfectly suited for the way he approaches fights. Shakur fights as a southpaw, using what we like to call a halfway L-guard defence, or Philly shell defence, which is basically using a long guard from a Philly shell. When he fights from the outside, his arms are a little bit more open and relaxed, but when he gets to a closer distance, he then closes the guard, adopting a full L guard. He has an upright and solid posture, his feet always at the right distance, not too far, not too close, and slightly on his toes, to be able to take a step back if necessary. As we have seen with many other southpaw boxers, they like to use the lead hand to probe, measure, and maintain the right distance with their opponents. Shakur will use it all the time. You'll constantly see him extending the lead hand during his fights to probe and measure the distance. He also uses it for other purposes, like blocking his opponent's vision or open up their guard for straight shots.
What's going on?
But we'll go more in detail later on in the video. Now, let's take a look at his best skills. Distance control. Shakur is more comfortable fighting from the outside. That is why his style is mainly fundamented in keeping the right distance at all times.
Go. Feint and go. Feint and go. He may get hit in the process, but he's got to, if he came here believing in that.
A distance where he is able to hit his opponents, but they are not able to hit him. He is always alert to his opponent's attacks, and is able to evade them by either doing a small step back
fighter you often get
or a lean back.
Just a threat.
Every time
watch your feet. Stay off.
Gonzalez step forward, what does Stevenson do? He steps two steps back right there.
It seems really simple, but that is his most effective and most used defensive techniques.
So if you notice with Shakur, he always moves out in straight lines. You know, occasionally he'll turn the corner, but you see, again, he moves out in straight lines.
He does not have to worry about which punch is being thrown, as he just steps out of range where his opponent cannot hit him.
Wants to be in the sport.
The key to it is his footwork. You will notice he is always in position and ready to get out of range, usually placing weight on the front foot to push back quickly whenever the opponent throws. He does it by constantly readjusting his foot positioning to never be out of position.
Again, there it is.
You can easily spot it by looking at how many times his opponents readjust their feet compared to Shakur, who does it constantly.
Probe, trying to set up something up top.
Another great tool he uses to control the distance are probes. He will extend his lead hand to get a reference to how far or close he is to his opponent.
You kind of expose yourself for the uppercut, also dangerous. You kind of expose yourself for the uppercut.
He will also use parries and block on a solid Philly shell guard, mixing it up in a complete and almost impenetrable defense.
No, look, you ain't got to play defense, so when you throw the jab, go ahead.
Important for Stevenson.
Oh, damn, how you grab your hand? Yo! I'm trying to show him. That nigga defense so bleeding.
Apart from his defense, he also knows how to use the ring to his advantage with his lateral movement. He will move around the ring to control the pace of the fight and maintain the fight on the outside. However, what actually makes Shakur so good is his ability to get quickly back in range, which allows him to exploit another great ability of his: counterpunching. His distance control is the key that opens all the doors for his counterpunching opportunities. As he is able to control the distance so good, he just gets out of range,
the outside foot,
not too far away, so he can quickly get back at the shooting range to counter with his own combinations.
One downstairs. Shakur hit him on top of the head and down he goes.
He is excellent at countering with his jab, and especially with his rear from the Philly shell.
Not good for him. Sequence right there from
Right hand as Shakur covers up, absorbs those punches, and then places less. He comes up with something and hits the... And that finishes with the left to the body from Shakur.
Trying to get your offense up.
Oh, there's a good...
Shoot a big right hand to the body or the head of Shakur Stevens.
He also has a great check hook, which he uses when opponents lunge in. It not only serves as a counter, but can also serve as a way to get out of range on an angle.
Down 4-2 or even at
of round 6.
trying to draw him in. Boom, they're right hook.
What makes his counterpunching so effective, apart from his fast hands, is the fact that he is always alert and focused.
I'm blessed with God-given eyes. My eyes is amazing.
Landing 13 power punches, so it's a...
A lot of people don't understand how good my eyes is. I can see really good. Like punches coming my way, I know how to get away from them at any given time.
You will never see him take a break or relax. He is always concentrated and in the fight.
When I'm in there with Shakur, you know, it's his chess match, you know, because Shakur is a thinking man as well.
He is always watching and focused, even when you think he is not.
Chases! Shakur Stevenson has...
Guard manipulation. Shakur likes to control his opponent's guard in different ways. As we mentioned, he will often use the lead hand to do so. A hallmark move he uses is pushing his lead hand against his opponent and then follow up with a straight left to the body. That will have 3 main consequences. It will destabilize his opponent's balance,
It's to fight middle.
it will block their vision,
like Shakur.
and it will also open up their guard for a more clean cross to the body.
Stevenson is going on. Trying to land something.
Says the problem with Oscar right now is
When facing the opposite stance, he will often move to the weak side of the opponent, while using a handle to pin the opponent's guard.
in a way that puts an exclamation point on the knife to lead.
He will pivot at the same time as he makes contact with the opponent's guard, so he negates any offense while he gets an angle, and usually outside foot position, remaining defensively responsible.
Too frequent.
Oh, look at that!
But he will also use different peels, like pulling the lead hand of his opponent down with his own lead hand, then following with a punch.
Side of the head. Does it?
As you will have already noticed, he likes to be busy with his lead hand. Another thing he likes to use his lead hand with is when he gets closer to his opponent.
And it's going to leave his head exposed.
Oh, there it is upstairs!
Fight at any corner. He can fight in the pocket. Maybe he's going to give it a little bit more in the neck and take the bait.
When fighting on the inside, he will often frame with his forearm to control his opponent's guard and work on body shot opportunities.
Hopelessness with Caraballo. He knew he would be outclassed, outskilled.
Left hand, but the straight left to the body.
But now, let's take a look at Shakur's biggest flaw. Flaws. Defensive-minded. It was almost impossible to find any flaw in Shakur's style technique-wise. But if we had to bring up something, he is too defensive-minded. Whereas we do not think he has bad power in his hands, as many claim he does.
Will take some shots. Tim Bradley was observing.
Downstairs, a stunning left. Oh, a cracker of a shot.
Oh, another left hand. Good right hand to the body.
Simeon, who got blasted!
Wanted to test.
Oh!
He does not show it as often. He goes to his fights with a defense-first approach, where he will not start throwing punches unless he is in a safe position and has the fight under control. Even when he throws his combinations, he does so from the outside and always at a certain distance. While great to prevent counterpunches, it sometimes hinders his ability to use his power to the full extent. But as mentioned, that is just the way he approaches his fights. And for every advantage, there is always a downside. But with that style, he has managed to dominate the majority of his opposition and rarely get hit, which, at the end, is what boxing is all about. But now, we would love to know your opinion on the comments. What other skills or flaws do you see in Shakur Stevenson? Let us know. And if the video was interesting, you can find more in our channel, and to your left, there's a video specially suited for you.